Hello everyone, welcome to another video, and today's topic is mineral nutrition. So what are mineral nutrients? Mineral nutrients are inorganic ions obtained from the soil and required for the plant growth. इसका एग्जाम्पल हो गया जैसे नाइट्रोजन, फॉस्फोरस, सल्फर. ऑल दिस एलिमेंट्स आर अवेलेबल इन द सॉइल. यहाँ पे हम कार्बन, हाइड्रोजन एंड ऑक्सीजन को कंसिडर नहीं कर रहे हैं बिकॉज plants mainly obtain them from air and water. So the inorganic ions that are nitrogen, phosphorus, sulfur, magnesium, etc., these are obtained from the soil and are required for the plant growth. So the process of absorption, translocation and assimilation of nutrient by plant is called mineral nutrition. So there are mainly three processes involved in here, that is absorption, translocation and assimilation. What are those means? Absorption में क्या होता है? Supposedly soil से plant सारे nutrients absorb कर रहा है. Phosphorus हो गया, nitrogen हो गया, इन सबको soil से absorb कर रहा है. Translocation means from the root it will be transferred to different part of the plant, that is leaves, flowers, stems, or in different organ of the plant and different part of the plant. And last one is assimilation. Assimilation means इसमें क्या होता है? assimilation means हम अगर इसे यूज कर रहे हैं, सपोजली फोटोसिंथेसिस में यूज हो गया है, नाइट्रोजन मेटाबॉलिज्म में यूज हो गया, इलेक्ट्रॉन ट्रांसपोर्ट सिस्टम में वो चीज़ यूज हो रहा है, वो काम कर रहा है, then it is called assimilation. So there are mainly three processes involved here, that is absorption, translocation and assimilation. There are many elements in the soil, but we cannot say all these elements are essential. There are two scientists, Ammon and Stout, in 1939 proposed a criteria to know whether the element is essential or not. So they proposed three criteria, and if any element does not satisfy those three categories, then it will be considered as non-essential, and the elements those satisfy all those three criteria, they are considered as essential elements. So let's see what are those three criteria. So the criteria number one is the element must be absolutely necessary for the normal growth of the plant and its reproduction or set seeds. So according to this criteria, अगर supposedly कोई element है that is indispensable for the plant, so without this element the plant cannot survive or cannot complete its vegetative and reproductive life cycle. अगर ये element available नहीं है तो वो plant grow नहीं कर सकता, वो reproduce नहीं हो सकता, और with deficiency of the element eventually it will die. The second point is requirement of element must be specific and not replaceable by another element. So अगर एक एलिमेंट है तो उसे दूसरा कोई एलिमेंट रिप्लेस नहीं कर सकता. सो कोई नाइट्रोजन का जो फंक्शन है that will be only carried out by nitrogen. We cannot replace that nitrogen with other element. And the third one is the element must play a direct role in the metabolism of the plant. That may be photosynthesis, nitrogen fixation, or any other reactions. If any element that satisfy all these three criteria, that will be considered as essential element. So according to Ammon and Stout, they proposed 16 element that is found to be essential according to them, and those are carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, sulfur, magnesium, calcium, ferrum, boron, manganese, copper, zinc, molybdenum, chlorine. And there is one more element, nickel, that is found later to be essential. So now there are 16 plus 1, that is 17 number of elements. Those are essential elements. There are some exceptions to the second criteria. That is in some cases some elements are replaceable by other element. For example, suppose there is a deficiency of chlorine, it can be replaced by bromine. And for another example is compensated by vanadium, and calcium by strontium, and potassium by rubidium. These all these cases are not in every plant, but some cases it is found. Beside these 17 elements, there are some more elements that are not considered as essential, but these elements found to be very much required in metabolic activities in certain plants. Just like the second point, in some plants it is replaceable, not in every cases. And here also there are some elements, some non-essential elements that have been found to be required in metabolic activity of certain plants. They include cobalt, silicon, sodium, vanadium, aluminum, etc. Let's see the metabolic activities. Silicon is required by most grasses and cereals. Its deficiency produces leaf necrosis and stunted growth in rice. It is also found to be deposited in cell walls, and it also improve heat and drought tolerance and increase resistance to insect and fungal infections in some plants. And it also acting as a beneficial element that can help compensate for toxic level of manganese, iron, phosphorus and aluminum, as well as help in zinc deficiency also. So what do you mean by toxic here? टॉक्सिक मीन सपोजली एक एलिमेंट है, उसका अमाउंट रिक्वायर अमाउंट से काफ़ी ज़्यादा है. अगर उसका अमाउंट रिक्वायर अमाउंट से ज़्यादा हो गया, देन इट विल डिटेरिएट द नॉर्मल फंक्शन ऑफ द प्लांट and can be considered as toxic. Let's see some other element that are non-essential. That is cobalt. Cobalt is essential for nitrogen fixation in legume. These elements like cobalt, silicon, sodium, vanadium, aluminum, they are not considered as essential, but these elements are called as functional elements or non-essential functional or beneficial elements. With the development in the analytical chemistry and the ability to eliminate contaminants in nutrient culture, the list of essential elements may increase in future. The essential elements are further divided into two broad categories based on their quantitative requirements, that is micronutrients and micronutrients. So micronutrients requirement in plant is that is 1 to 10 mg per gram dry weight, and for micronutrient that is 0.1 mg per gram dry weight. So let's see micronutrients. Micronutrients are generally present in plant tissues in large amounts, that is 10 mg per gram per dry weight, and the micronutrients include carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, phosphorus, sulfur, potassium, calcium and magnesium. So out of this, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, as I told earlier, absorbed from the air and water, while the others are absorbed from the soil as mineral nutrient. And the micronutrients are trace element and are needed in very small amount, that is 0.1 mg per gram dry weight. And these elements this element includes iron, manganese, copper, molybdenum, zinc, boron, chlorine and nickel. So यहाँ पे आप लोग देख सकते हैं एक छोटा सा एनिमेशन मैंने बनाया है, और लेफ्ट साइड में माइक्रोन्यूट्रिएंट्स है और राइट साइड में माइक्रोन्यूट्रिएंट्स है. यहाँ पे और एक चीज आप नोटिस कर सकते हैं, there is no carbon, hydrogen, oxygen in the soil. So as I told earlier, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen are obtained from the air and water, and rest 14 elements that are obtained from the soil, as you can see in the animation. So before discussing the function of individual essential elements, here are two tables. Please refer to these two tables. The table 1 explains in which form the elements are absorbed to the plant, and the table 2 is regarding the mobile nature of the elements, and this mobile nature of the element will help us while discussing the deficiency symptoms of these essential elements. Now let's move on to the role of macro and micronutrients. Essential elements perform several functions. They participate in various metabolic processes in the plant, such as permeability of cell membrane, maintenance of the osmotic concentration of cell shape, electron transport system, buffering action, enzyme activity, and act as major constituent of macromolecules and coenzymes. So let's move on to the individual role of all the elements. Individual role of essential elements. So first one is nitrogen. It is required by plant in greatest amount and required in all part of the plant, particularly the meristematic tissue and metabolically active cells. और ये प्रोटीन्स, न्यूक्लिक एसिड और विटामिन्स का एक मेजर कंस्टिट्यूएंट भी है, और इट ऑल्सो एनकरेज वेजिटेटिव ग्रोथ. Now let's see the role of phosphorus. Phosphorus is constituent of cell membrane, certain protein, all nucleic acids and nucleotides, and function as energy storage. वो ATP, NADP जो रहता है उसमें फॉस्फेट का सबसे important रोल रहता है. Then it is required in phosphorylation reaction. जैसे मैक्सिमम केसेस में एंजाइम का रोल होता है फॉस्फोरिलेशन में, एक्टिवेशन के लिए. So in all phosphorylation reaction, phosphate is required. Obvious है phosphorylation के लिए phosphate का जो जरूरत होगा. Then it also governs the growth of the root. So nitrogen क्या करता है, जो प्लांट का सॉइल के अबव ऑफ द पार्ट का वो ग्रोथ मेंटेन करता है, और जो फॉस्फोरस है वो बिलो द सॉइल, मतलब जो रूट्स है उसका वो डेवलपमेंट कंट्रोल करता है. Then next, it also counteracts the excess nitrogen and also increase disease resistance. Now let's move on to potassium. It is absorbed as potassium ion and required in more abundant quantities in the meristematic tissue, buds, leaves and root tips. It also maintains cation and anion balance in cell and involved in protein synthesis. It also controls opening and closing of stomata, reduces the transpiration and increases the photosynthetic rate. It also helps in disease resistance, essential in formation and transfer of starch and sugar, and involved in activation of many important enzymes, and also maintain the turgidity of the cell. Then next is calcium. It is required in meristematic and differentiating tissue. It is used in synthesis of cell walls during cell division, particularly as calcium pectide in the middle lamella, and also needed during the formation of mitotic spindle and the cell plate. It is also required for normal functioning of the cell membrane. Calcium is very important part of the cell membrane, so it's required for normal functioning of the cell membrane. It also activates certain enzymes and plays important role in regulating activity. It is essential in activating growing point, especially the root tips. Then the next is magnesium. It is constituent of ring structure of chlorophyll and helps to maintain ribosome structure, activates the enzymes of respiration, photosynthesis, and also in synthesis of DNA and RNA. Magnesium is part of DNA polymerase, and the last one is carrier of phosphorus. Then sulfur. It is present in two amino acids, that is cysteine and methionine, and is the main constituent of several enzymes, vitamins and ferredoxin. It also helps in chlorophyll formation and promote nodule formation. And it is also a part of cell energetic. Then iron. It is required in higher amounts as compared to other micronutrients. Important constituent of protein involved in transfer of electron like ferredoxin and cytochromes. It activates catalase enzymes, help the formation of chlorophyll. It also acts as a oxygen carrier. Then the next one is manganese. It activates many enzymes in photosynthesis, respiration and nitrogen metabolism. It plays an important role in splitting water to liberate oxygen during photosynthesis and also help in formation of chlorophyll. Then the next one is zinc. It activates various enzymes, especially carboxylases, and needed in the synthesis of auxin. There is a very important growth hormone and essential for water uptake. The next is copper. It is absorbed as cupric ions. It is essential for overall metabolism in plants. Like iron, it is associated with certain enzymes involved in the redox reactions required. It is also required in flowering and development of grain. Then boron. It is required for uptake and utilization of calcium ions, required in cell membrane function, pollen germination, cell elongation, cell differentiation and carbohydrate translocation. It also regulates the potassium and calcium ion ratio and needed to maintain apical growth points. It also helps in activation of salt absorption. Then molybdenum. It is component of several enzymes including nitrogenase and nitrate reductase, both of which participate in nitrogen metabolism. Then next one is chlorine. Along with sodium and potassium ion, it helps in determining the solute concentration and anion-cation balance in the cells. And it is essential for water splitting reaction in photosynthesis. And the last one is nickel. It is essential for hydrogenase, methyl reductase and urease activation, regulates nitrogen metabolism, cofactor of enzyme in higher plants. So this is all about macro and micronutrients criteria for essentiality. In the next video हम discuss करेंगे methods of study and use of nutrient and mineral deficiency symptoms. Hope you guys like the video. और कुछ improvement और कुछ requirement हो तो please do comment in the comment section. Thank you.